Okay, yeah, we in there now.
So whenever you get into real fine measurements, like you have to be a lot finer and more accurate than a tape measure, like I showed you. Mm-hmm. Once you get past a 64th of an inch, you can't really see it. It's hard to see. But this will tell you what it is. So you measure, you know, I can measure each part of this thing, you know, and it'll tell me what the dimensions are, you know. And but you start out with, I don't think I have it here, but you start out with a stock. This is some brass. You see, that's brass. You start out with something as stock. You put it in the lathe. You put it in the chuck. You open up the chuck with what they call a chuck key. This is a chuck key. You open up the chuck, and I'll show you how this works. I've got this thing set in here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has some shims, what we call a shim, to offset. I'm gonna turn this little knob on the end here, this little tit, and it has to be offset like a cam. You know what a cam is, right? Mm-hmm. That's like what opens and closes your valves in your engines. Yeah, a cam. Well, you can see that the part that's rotating is offset, but I've got the shims in here, this little pack of shims, to make this be steady.
Oh, more of the straight. Okay.
So I can take this cutter. This is what's called a saddle. This is the saddle that straddles the ways. This is called the ways, W-A-Y-S, the ways of the lathe. And it goes back and forth, and it's extremely accurate. It's straight on, and then I can do the cross slide like this, and that'll make this go in and out. And this is called the compound, to go at an angle. But what I would do, this is one that's already been made. It's a finished part. And it's close to being exactly right. But you can take, and this is the tool, what they call the tool rest, and this is the cutting tool. And you can have various cutters in here that look different. Like here are, those are center points. Where's a good one? Okay, here you can have various shapes. See how this is shaped to get into a little tight area or something? And you can put that in the tool holder and tighten it down. You get it at the right distance and everything. You tighten that down, and then you can move the tool rest to any position and rock it back and forth. This is a very crude and simple way of adjusting the tool holder, and tighten that down, and you can get any kind of angle you want, pretty much. Go back and forth. Put it anywhere along here, and then go in here and do whatever you need to do. Go in here. Go in and get into a real small area and turn it and cut the metal. And there's different speeds. This is basically has 4 speeds. Here's the fastest it'll go. Right here. That's the fastest it'll go. To cut, and then I'll show you, this is the slowest it will go, which is pretty doggone slow. You take it out of direct drive, and you go through what they call the back gear, which is this set of gears right here, and you engage the back gear. So now it's turning, it's going, the power is going through this belt into this set of pulleys, and then driving there's a little gear here, driving a big gear, and then goes back to a little gear, driving a big gear. So it's highly reduced. That's the slowest it'll go. You can see it's driving this back gear now. And I can take it out of gear and it's not doing anything. I can just turn it freely until I engage it directly by putting this pin into a hole that drives it directly to this set of pulleys.
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay.
So that's as slow as it goes, and this is pretty crude lathe, but it's pretty effective. That's as fast as it goes.
It's still fast enough to do it.
Yeah, it does. Like I say, this lathe was built in the late 40s by the South Bend, in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah,
So-
but back then they built good quality
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
It lasts forever.
This lathe is older than me.
That's what I'm
This is
saying.
my daddy's lathe.
And it still lasts. The
Yeah.
old stuff just great. It's just great.
Now the ways are worn, so it's worn a little bit, like a couple or 3 thousandths. So it's not extremely accurate, but it's accurate enough to do what most things. Now you can get them rebuilt. They can go and take it all apart and they regrind this real smooth, what they call the ways. They put it on a big machine and grind it back and forth, and get that thing perfectly straight again, because it's worn down right here where you're working all the time, back and forth. It's rubbing on here. This is cast iron, and I don't know, this may be a different kind of cast iron. But eventually, you keep them oiled, but eventually they get worn down. So way back here is practically brand new, because we've never gone back here to do any work. Most time, most of your work is right up here.
Typically, yeah. It's not.
So they get a tiny bit of dished out, like 2 or 3 thousandths of an inch, because it's worn down. So they can go and rebuild this lathe if you wanted to. It'd be a few $1,000s, but you could still have it done. And
it's
it'd
better than buying another one.
be like brand new.
Yeah.
Be like brand new. So I'm going to set this kind of back up. So what I'm going to do, this is one that's already made, so I've determined what this shim pack needs to be. There's so many thousandths of an inch to get this thing to where it is. You see, the main part is going in an eccentric. So I will turn this down to that shape right there, and it'll be like a little cam that I'm going to use on another machine in the other part of the shop. So I was just setting it up here and making sure I got everything, as close as I could get it to what it needs to be.
Okay.
So anyway, that's where you'd use this thing,
Oh.
the calipers. So that's that. Let me turn the light on. You rolling?
Yes, sir. We are rolling.
All right, here's a piece of metal that looks like shit. You can tell
Hold on.
it is
I didn't get you in it. Your face ain't fully in
been
it.
through a
Okay,
fire or something.
Helen
Or
back.
had a bunch of stuff dropped on it, like tar or something. This side looks pretty decent. It's galvanized, but I think it's flat enough in this area right here that we'll be able to get a good part out of it and turn chicken shit into chicken soup here once we get through working on this thing and prettying it up. So the first thing we do is, well, let me get a couple of clamps here. And we'll do some preliminary cosmetics on it. I'm going to pretty it up just a little bit on this. So, get the big boy sander.
Whew.
want it to be. That'll be the back side that you'll never see. This side is the side you see.
Oh yeah.
So now, let me wash my hands. Get start out at least a little bit cleaner. She is hot.
I'm enjoying it. Oh yeah, let me.
Oh, go get that drawing.
Oh yes. Oh man.
Oh yeah, there it is. Thank you.
More than one. I should have drawn that other one, but I didn't. You got another piece of paper?
Yeah, it's right there, the first window. As you go through the door, the first window to the left, there's a pad. Should be a pad right there, somewhere. Oh, and shut that door so we keep that dust out of there too.
Okay.
No, I'm just checking the.
For some reason, I thought you said past the door, but you said past the first window. I found it.
Well, it's underneath the first window, past the door.
Yep.
Did you find it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're checking the squareness to make sure I got a square corner to start with, which is pretty good. Pretty good. So we're going to start. That's pretty flat. So we'll start here. And we'll measure. So the blank is 5 7/16 by 3 3/8. So yeah, we should have enough. 3 3/8. So what I'm doing here, you might want to watch this.
Okay.
I'm setting my square to 3 3/8. This is from here out to the end is 3 3/8. You have to get the light just right to see it, but that's 3. It's not marked on this side, it's only marked on there. And then that's 3/8. So that's the height of this thing. So what you do is you make your first marks to cut out the blank. Just going to make a scratch with, this is a tungsten carbide tip. The very tip of that thing is tungsten carbide, which is extremely hard and almost never gets dull. I've had this since 1972.
Yeah.
No, 1976 or 1970.
Yeah, I'm getting one of those. I definitely will need that.
And that way you can make your marks on your metal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 3 3/8 high. And now we're going to go 5 7/16.
And it's so wild because it literally looks like a pencil drawing.
Yeah, it's like a pencil, except it's made for scratching metal.
Mm.
So, and another way to do this is to do it this way. Once you make your mark, then you can line up on your mark if it's square. If this is nice and square, and it is, make a mark like that. Make sure it doesn't move on you. And there's your mark. Now, you go over to the bandsaw and cut this out. Which is over. a little bit flatter. Not terrible. Not too bad. That's pretty good. So this is I think it's about a 10 gauge, which is a little over 1/8 of an inch thick. It's about, well, no, it's a tiny bit under 1/8. So it looks like it's either a heavy 12 gauge or an 11 gauge. Not 10 gauge, I don't think. Anyway, it's pretty thick. It's gonna be very strong.
Good. That's gonna help for what is needed.
It'll be very strong what it's for. Now, what we do is just clean up the saw cut edges that are a little bit rough. So we're gonna file the edges that we just sawed so that it's nice and straight and smooth just to start out with. There'll be lots more filing and shaping. And also do the edges of the plate and get off those rough saw cut marks so it's pretty smooth. You just run your fingers over it just to check it so it's not so nasty. Yeah, once it feels good, you go to the next. This is an old cut here that was pre-existing, but we're going to smooth it up. Smooth up all 4 edges. I'm doing the rough side of the file first and then flipping the file over. I'm going to get this, what we call dub. We're going to dub the corner just to get off that sharp point so it's not so aggressive. Feel the edges, they feel good. Keep on going around. Do all 4 edges. I don't know if you can see it, but it gets to be shiny once to get the light just right. The edge gets to be shiny and smooth once your filing is pretty much complete, which is right there. But it still has kind of rough edge at the very corner. This very corner here is kind of rough, so I'm just filing that. Get to kind of dull that corner. And flip the file over to the smooth side and smooth everything out. Again, just so it's nice and sexy. Sexy smooth. Can you see that? Have you got the camera?
I got it angled and zoomed in as you filing, so
you
it's.
can see as it goes here, it gets smoother and smoother. And it doesn't take but a minute, to get it all the way. There's little teeth marks right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can see it.
Yeah, I can't see it.
You get all those teeth marks from the saw, from the bandsaw, and then smooth this nasty side here that looks like shit. Kind of smooth that edge. Get the corners again. Then flip the file over and do the smooth cut of the file. And so now the blank is pretty much done. So now we can lay it out, what we call layout. After we got the blank done, we can lay out with the scribe. This is a scribe, and it's just like a ballpoint pen. It retracts the point back in there, just like a ball, to protect the point. If you were to drop it real hard on something, it would break that off, and then it would be useless because it's extremely brittle because it's so hard, So we'll just start making the dimensions here. We'll just start taking them one by one. So the first one I'm going to do is 1/4 of an inch on each of the bottom corner. That's how far the bumper comes up. On each end is 1/4 of an inch. And just looking at it, I don't see any real big difference to make one side the top and one side the bottom. It's quite square, so I'm gonna turn the fan on. I'm getting hot.
Okay.
Pull that chain once, and once the thing starts moving, pull it 2 more times.
Gotcha. Now?
Yeah. That's it. That's low. That's all we need. It'll blow this paper around. Most likely. Like that. So here we go. We're gonna start. A lot of times you have to work left-handed too.
Oh, great.
So there's the 1/4 inch on each end, and then it's 7/8. Right? Yeah. And we're going to go in from the end, and that will make the first angle cut for the bottom of the bumper, the wings of the bumper. So we're making that, and then all we do is connect the dots. So I've got a mark here and a mark here, and then I'm just gonna, I've got the core lighting, pull that chain and see if it'll come on. It's not. That's all we got. So I gotta, okay.
Is that better?
Yeah. Come around this way. Yeah, that's better.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So that's the first. That will be the first cut. These two are the first. Are you still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do something different.
Oh no, that phone that's recording, that's an off phone.
Oh. I still can't see it here. Okay, that's better. Get right on the money here. I think my eyes are going, even with glasses.
Yeah, that's alright.
So, there is that line right there. So now we go, okay, 3/4 of an inch. All right, we can need a center line. So what we're going to do to create, since we've got these holes off the center line, our center line is 1 1/16 off the, no, that's not right. So well, I'll just 2.5 plus 7/30 seconds. So okay, just under 1/4 of an inch. I guess I'll see if this is close. That's doggone close. Okay, so that's our center line. That's just for reference right now. It's not. Close enough. Close enough. Make it a little bit better. Okay with it. A little bit. And then for these holes, they're 1 23/30 seconds off of the center. So that's 11/16 plus. Well, I'm going to do this. That's a telemarketer, most likely. Then we go.
What is that?
What?
This thing.
It's called a square, combination square,
Oh.
and it's actually it's my daddy's. It's for a machinist to lay out very accurate, like what I'm doing here, to cut metal and they're backwards.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to get one of those too.
Yeah, the Starrett is the main brand, and you can probably find it online used. To buy it today, they're quite expensive, but you can get used ones. Pretty reasonable, I think.
Damn. Okay.
So this was 3 7/16. We're going to check and make sure. Yep, that's it. 3 7/16.
Wow. I won't lie.
So that's
Actually, thought that was like some kind of ashtray. But
no, that's a cutter that goes in that machine right there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's what that's for. All right, I just now laid out the 2 holes. So we're going to punch them. Punch.
You like?
Maybe. Didn't I have a hammer here? Or did I put it? I put it up. Put it a smaller hammer. That's your 2 holes for your mounting.
So they just got a punch or drill bit thing? That's a punch drill bit?
It's so the drill bit will start at exactly where I want it to start. You use a little bitty bit first and drill a small hole, and it will center, the center of the drill bit will center on that punch mat. So I'm not trying to eyeball with the drill press, you know.
Oh, okay.
It will go to that hole that I punched in.
I gotta admit, I kind of like that one.
And now all that is was an old broken Phillips.
Oh, okay. And you sharpened it
Like
with that?
like that, yeah. No, not on that. I sharpened it on the grinder. It's an old one that was worn out or broken that you can't remake really. You just buy a new one. It's one of those, and you just, you know,
I'm gonna definitely cut that. Cause
Sharpen
I got
it.
some stuff.
you gotta have a bench grinder.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
And I go on the side of the wheel and just spin it and work it down. Hold it with my left hand, you know, at the right angle, and it just sharpens it down. And this is real hard material.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll
Those
punch.
drill bits, all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't break easy.
yeah, that's a screwdriver bit, not a drill bit.
Oh, sorry.
That's a screwdriver. So there are your 2 holes. Now we go to the next one, which is 1 inch up. Will be that top of the bumper wings. Will be that top part. It's level, it's not tapered. That. This. And then we go in 1 1/16. Is the vertical part of the grill that goes all the way, other than the headlights. So I'll put the headlights in here later. Yeah, this is the vertical part of the grill. There's that. And then the headlights. Let's see, 11/16 off of that. So that's, what was that, 1 inch? Yeah, so 1 and 11/16 is the bottom part of the headlight. That's right there.
Right there.
The bottom of the headlight, and then we go another 3/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 3/8. Yes. We'll go to there. That's the top edge of the headlight. And it sticks out 3/4 of an inch. So that is 1 1/16. We're going to take 5/16. You got to do some calculations in your head. Nope, that's not right. It's, wait a minute. So, yeah, we're going to go, shit. Let's just do it a different way. It's too much for me to think about this late in the day.
Okay.
So we'll just go from this line right here, we'll go 3/4 that way.
Okay, that'll work.
From that line, so I'll line it up on the 3/4 mark. Get it where it looks pretty good. And then that's the outboard end of the headlight.
Okay.
Do the same for the other side. It looks kind of square. So there's your headlight. Can't see too good, but that's I can see.
I can see it good.
Pretty good.
This way.
So it's a double headlight. Okay. Have you got 4 bulbs?
No, I
Or
got
just
2, but you know, I can work.
Okay. Now the only other thing is this little curve at the top, and it's only 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to measure down 1/8 of an inch on each end here. Put a little mark. Let's see. No. It's right here. A little mark right there. And a little mark right here. So now we need a curve that does that. So what you can do sometimes is find something that looks too small a diameter. We need something big, like almost like sometimes you can get lucky. Oh, see that's way too big. I mean, way too small. That's way too small. It'll probably still be too small. Sometimes you can just see that's still way too small a diameter. It's way.
Okay.
It's touching here, but it's way down, way lower than an 1/8 of an inch.
I could.
So, what we can do, let's see, is if we have, I'm not sure if I've got something that big, like a stripe, a compass. You know what a compass is? A compass? Here's one. Wait a minute. Here's an old one right here.
Oh,
Pencil in it.
oh, you talking about that ones like the ones at school? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
Okay.
compass.
Okay.
It's got a pencil in it.
I
So-
forgot the name of those.
It's a compass. So you need to know all this stuff if you're going to be doing stuff like this. So I'll just set this. I tell you what, we'll lock this down on the table right here along this edge. Right here. Pretty good. And then we're just going to eyeball and see if this will even come close to what we need. I'll get it all the way out. I think it's going to be still too small. We'll see. I'm just going to eyeball, put the center point along the center line, just roughly, and then go up where it fades out here. That's not bad. Look at that.
I think we may make it work, honestly.
That's close enough, man. That's close enough for who it's for. Did you get that? That was a dig at you. That's close enough for who it's for.
I know.
That's a dig. That's close enough for who this is for. Yeah. So that's the last bit of our layout, I think. There's your curve, which looks pretty close. And then we can drill this later. There's the cutout for the bumper wings, and then there's the cutout for the headlight bezels. I think that's it. So now we go solder. do more filing.
All right. Definitely should be. That's better. No, I gotta admit, Mr. Daniel, this is actually like the first time I've ever actually recorded like the stuff that I do. Like I only record, like bits and pieces and then I show it, but this is the first time I've actually recorded like the actual process as it's being done. Yeah.
Oh, don't let me help me to remember. I need your help on moving something outside the big roll-up door.
Okay. When we done?
Before you leave.
Okay, that's no problem.
Take both of us. I was at Biscuitville the other day.
Oh.
Right down the street from where you are, on next to D.H. Griffin.
Oh, I'm not gonna say they nasty, but I wouldn't say they're the best. I probably would pick either South Main Street or either North Main Street.
Yeah, I like the North Main Street, but that one's close.
Yeah, it ain't in no walking distance.
And this cutest little black girl, I was at the counter placing my order, and this cute little girl she was only, she must have been 6 or about this high.
Mm-hmm.
I was just placing my order. She came up, and I think I'm pretty sure her mom worked there, so she was just staying there while her mom did her shift, and this little girl. And she looked up at me and had this hat on. And she looked up at me and she said, Are you a cowboy? It was so sweet. It was so sweet. And I said, well, sort of, but I don't deal with cows. It was so cute. And then I sit down to eat, in a booth, and there's this, looked like two relatively young grandparents that had at least 4 little bitty kids, like
Oh, probably
4
2
years old.
Damn.
That might have been 5, I don't know. And one of them looked over at me and said the same thing. He said, the little boy, he said, "Look, Mommy, that's a cowboy." It's so funny. It's so cute. Oh man, made my day.
I appreciate it, but my days are far gone, baby. I just relax now.
Yeah, don't rush. I'm not. What is it?
Cattle tie-in, or I can't think of the name.
Not rustling.
Rodeo.
Yeah, I'm not punching. I think punching cows or something like that. What they call it?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Herding them up and
Yeah.
driving cattle to the market. Cattle drive and whatnot. I don't do that anymore.
Oh man.
It was something, man. She looked up at me and said, "Are you a cowboy?"
I ain't gonna never forget that time when we was over here. I don't know how old we was at the time. I just remember that day we was all outside your house, me, Will, and E, and you had offered us lunch at your place, and so I was complaining about how I didn't eat ham because I still don't eat it now, but I was like, I don't eat ham, and so you was like, well, I got some peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
And you gave me that thick ass peanut butter.
A great big old swig of peanut butter, man. You couldn't hardly chew it. You couldn't hardly choke it down. Man, yeah. I said, "That too much?
Way
too
too
much
much.
peanut butter for your ass." That was funny. You don't like ham? Oh man, you missed that. Man, ham's good. Ham and good stuff.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably take some Sam. I'll take some Sam any day.
What's that?
Oh, she's from our colleague. If you had some of her, I'll take some of that any day.
I bet you would.
You know it. I don't even know how old she really is now, but oh well.
How do you know this person?
I don't know her. She was on this TV show when I was a kid.
Oh.
Our colleague. I'll still let her know. She can definitely teach me a lesson or two. She's always better than one.
Woohoo.
Well, you gotta scream it real good.
Singing to me. Singing.
That's why you make it sing like that. I was trying to initiate a photo, right? But
Lots of filing. Lots of filing. Right, here's a little file. Little baby.
fine tune it.
A little baby.
Oh, what a pretty little baby.
Little baby file.
It's not the size, it's how you use it.
That's too big.
I thought that was a signal thing. I don't think so.
Nope. Here we go.
I got the banana about to grab.
Oh, bring your broken bumper out here.
Yeah, I got in a wreck and ruined it, man.
You what?
So yeah, I got in a wreck and just ruined it.
Yeah, you did.
Nylint 4.
Okay, we're close. Close.
I think I'm still in break.
Yeah, let's get there.
What's the trash can at?
Now, there's another trick that we do, and it's called wire brushing. And that will smooth out. You can see it over here. Smooth out a lot of the filing to smooth it out a little bit better, especially the corners. How big of a hole? Let's see your bumper. Yeah. What is that? About a, not quite a 36. It's probably metric. All this stuff's probably metric, isn't it?
Yeah, I
I
believe
think
so.
it's made in China.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff.
Oh yeah. No, wait, I don't know. Weren't Nylints made in? No, I think they were made in China. I'm not sure. Tonkas, that was U.S. trucks, right? I mean, made in U.S. or
I think so.
All right. Well, it may be American. I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's a Nylint, but I don't know if Nylint was made by Tonka or you know, yeah, American or not.
We're going to drill the holes here. Little bitty set of drills here. That's close.
All right.
9/64. 9/64 is what that looks like. So, see, it'll center your bit nice and precise. Then what we do is, ain't that a cute little set of drill bits? Look at that, it's so cute. Goes up to a quarter, a 1/16 to a quarter by 64.
I like the little tin thing how it folds them up.
So we,
Or like this one. I like this one actually.
oh yeah, that's a big wheel.
Yeah, I like that one. What a box.
Now we're going to deburr and give you a nice, I don't know if you can see it, but this is on the back side. I drilled it this way, but on the back side it has a
Oh yeah, that's
quite a bit of a burr. So this eliminates that really nicely. We're just pushing it up. Do it on both sides. It'll give you a nice finish. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
A nice finish to the hole. It's chamfering. It's called chamfer. CHAMFER. Chamfering.
Oh, champion! I like the clothes.
Chamfer.
I know.
CHAMFER. F-E-R.
Okay. Chamfer.
Chamfer. C-H-A-M-F-E-R.
Okay.
Chamfer the hole. Does a nice job. Now we just got to bend it.
Sorry.
Let's do something different. I'm going to hold in the vise the hole, right? At the edge of the hole, and then bend. Let the part that's up in the air be the part that's bent, so I don't deform
The plate.
the hole. Don't deform the hole. I'm going to hold the really tight in the vise.
Okay.
This vise can put 4,000 pounds of pressure
Good.
on something. I measured it with a hydraulic.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm not
A
gonna
lot
lie.
of pressure. Yeah, 2 tons. That's 2 tons.
So how much pressure could rip off, the finger or skin?
Oh, not that much.
Oh damn.
We're gonna.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah.
It's maybe close.
I'd say spot on.
That's pretty close. Pretty close.
Whew. Yeah. Oh,
Now we do the other one.
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah, I'd say that's about it.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Now let's just eyeball them here.
Yeah, I'm thinking since it wasn't in there, I think that would be good or close to accurate. Yeah, I think it's good.
Don't look even.
Well, okay, maybe that one looks a little less bent than that one. But it still looks pretty close to me.
This one looks less bent to me. That one looks like it needs to be.
Okay.
Much. It's just a degree or 2 at the most.
Okay.
See how that fits on your truck.
Alrighty.
Now we'll have to straighten out that top flange that we're gonna, and then rebend it.
Alrighty, so the moment of truth, everybody.
Rebend it so
Well, it looks to fit about great.
new part.
Hold on, let me pick that up more. So that's how she would fit. Okay, so what do y'all think? Would that be perfect for a new body? Cause I like it. I gotta
Go
admit.
ahead and bring it over here. Let's take a look at it.
Okay.
Let's see. How's this? Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is supposed to go up to right about there. Yeah, and line up with them holes.
Yeah, it looks about perfect to me.
Let's see here. Yeah.
And all I can do is just bend that straight out
Yeah,
and fold it in over it.
We need to bend that. Let me get vice grips here. Straighten this So.
Yeah, he's really good at this stuff. Ah, dang.
I'm gonna have to paint the hood over again. This paint is just
Brittle?
peeling off of here as I straighten it.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not really good paint. Pretty.
It's old anyway. That
Is
thing.
it? See, it's just flaking off. As I bend it straight,
Oh,
straighten
yeah.
it out, and you probably have to paint this hood over again.
To be honest with you, the paint was chipping out other places, but you know,
Yeah.
it's got rust anyway, so. Ooh.
Oh, you know what though? Okay, I see now. Since the plastic one was shaped,
Yeah, it was more fit to fit in there.
yeah, this one is being held off right here. You see, it's holding it off, so it really needs to be close to flat. I mean, bent just a little bit, not as much as this.
Oh, okay.
See how?
Oh, okay, I get you, yeah.
This part was going against there.
Okay, to hold it out.
Yeah, it's, or something, no, that's not quite right either. It's not quite,
No, remember I told you, it's gotta completely go with a whole.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had it too high? Well, wait a minute,
No, that's it. It's right there perfectly.
but
in
this is,
there. Oh, a little
see?
too out.
see there's a gap. So it needs to be flattened out.
Oh, okay, I get
It's
you.
bent too much, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So, it needs to be flattened out a little bit.
Mr. Dan got all the tools. Whew.
Still needs to be flat.
Maybe we shouldn't have went for the hard curve.
You can always flatten it out.
But the curve did look good. I ain't-
Mm-hmm.
It looked good. It looked hard.
But it won't fit good. Being curved that much or bent.
No, it looked, yeah, spot on.
It's pretty close.
And like I said, I'll just bend that little bit back in to hold it in.
Well, it'll go too far in, so it really needs to. You really need.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it going in. Like, I'll have it fold in and then have something hold it down right there. That way it'll stay in place. And like I said, I'm also going to be drilling it in. I think that would be fine, Mr. Dan.
Well, we can bend this like right here. I think. Just a little at a time. And we'll bend in. Got to take it slow. That'll give you a nice roll here too. You can take your file and kind of smooth it too. It's a little bit bumpy. It's not bad.
Man, it ain't gotta be perfect. It still look decent enough.
It'll fit in there.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's a little bit bumpy.
That's fine. She just looks good. Get it off the rain. Sun. She about to rain. Oh. Thought there was a light switch on here.
On the top, not on the top, but the top of the metal housing. No, on the other side. Go around, you'll see it. Go around the other way. You'll see it.
This one on the side here.
Uh-uh. No,
Oh,
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an old machine. Cause I'm looking all around there. I'm like, I don't see the switch. But okay, it's like inside.
Yeah, you see how that's smoothing out now?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to keep working at it. Take off a little at a time. Make that thing look like a real nose of